What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Nice.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening World. I'm Love Coach Scott Thomas, and do you know what's just happened? We are now truly, fully into the age of Aquarius. All of our astrologer friends have been telling us November 19th, which is when Pluto leaves Capricorn, where it's been for over 20 years, and comes into Aquarius. And so a great, great moment this is. And how better to celebrate this moment than two people that are traveling the world ushering in the age of Aquarius. We have with us tonight our beloved friends, Pato and Antoinette, and I'm putting the spotlight on these two beautiful souls. I had the pleasure of being at a concert that they gave just 2 weeks ago in San Francisco, which of course was the best concert of the year. And it's just such an honor to have you both with us tonight to share with us all about your adventures. They have traveled all over the globe, 4 continents. How many countries?
21 last count, I think.
Extraordinary, extraordinary. So traveling the world, what's the vibe? What have you, I mean, of course, there's so many things, but what's the overall experience that you've had?
Go ahead.
For me personally, the overall experience has just been, just good vibes, excitement. People have been excited to see us everywhere we've been. And people are really enthusiastic about the Spirit of Ubuntu, the documentary that we've been sharing. And I think the major feedback that we have had is that people are saying they need to do more. People are saying, I need to do more. I feel inspired by the work that is being done across Africa, and I want to be involved, even if it's in my own local community, wherever they are, or reaching out to Africa to help with what's going on over there. A lot of people have said they feel motivated to do something.
Yeah, I would say that I think, we've done a lot of outreach for different things. We've done outreach for the Urantia movement, but not everybody reads the Urantia book. We've done outreach for the Golden Rule and for interfaith, and not everybody is even into that because they felt it was a little bit too religious. I remember when someone made a post, they said, "Why don't we put the Golden Rule inside of schools?" And then people were fighting against that because they said it was religious. It's like, wow, is there something that we can just kind of agree on that is beyond race, religions, class, creeds, or colors, or anything else? And then when we shot this documentary on the Spirit of Ubuntu, it was something that everybody could get down with on every single continent that we went to, every single country that we went to. It touched the hearts and the minds and the souls of every single body. And that's one of the things that really gave me hope. So it's like, I'm not in the doom and gloom time right now. I'm not in the depressing time about, what's going to happen in the future or in the world or other things like that, because it's like I've seen peace. I've seen what peace looks like when we shot this documentary. And I know that peace is also going to be achievable in the future, when people really start to get to understand each other and know what the spirit of Ubuntu is really all about.
Beautiful. Well, one of the things that it was very exciting is you were just in Japan with many special souls, including this lovely lady, Kristen Hoffman.
Oh, so good to be with you both. I had to be here tonight because I am just so excited about the incredible work, dedication, love message that you've been sharing. And we got to watch a lot of the Ubuntu documentary in Japan, and it just lit me up with so much enthusiasm. So it's just such an honor to be here and learn more and learn. I've been thinking every day, what can I do to support you guys? So I just want to put that out. Like, let us know tonight, what can we do to support you?
That's
I'm
right.
so glad that you're here, Kristen, because this is when you see the next videos, and you'll hear from the others that are also who are going to be joining us. There will be so many different ways of how you can participate, how you can contribute, how you can also offer your voice and your art, and how we can bring this to the world. So this is a really good time, that we're actually doing this show tonight.
Yay. So excited.
So, normally we would start the show off with an Omashar song, but Omashar is in Peru. And we actually connected with him today. He tuned into Unity Earth, but he also sent a video, which you're going to appreciate, Kristen, because this is part of what took place in Japan. Everybody, we're going to get Omashar and Antoinette and some other friends of yours. Let's take a look.
All right, now. What we're doing, we are introducing Divine Mother's love to the world globally. You guys are about to witness for the first time Divine Mother's love, and I would like to introduce to you guys two of the other co-founders with Divine Mother's love, Pookie and Zedalia. And I would also like to introduce Joan, mother of Ben, and Nina, also embodying the Divine Mother essence, and Summer Joy, who is our joyous ambassador, global outreach for Divine Mother's love. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
As women, we are taking our rightful place, bringing love into action, to birth a world where violence and war no longer exist. In responsibility to our human evolution and devotion to the generations ahead of us and behind us, we establish sovereign peace beginning now.
We are standing in the power of Divine Mother's love.
Come on down.
We are standing in the power of Divine Mother's love. We are standing in the power of Divine Mother's love. We are standing in the power of Divine Mother's love. Stand up strong each and every day. Use your voice, speak in a better way. How long must we live this way? For a better day.
Women everywhere envision a flourishing planet where love's beauty, peace, and harmony abound. We cherish and treasure our Mother Earth in all her majesty. We cherish and treasure humanity and the truth of our divinity. Ancient and sovereign, imperishable and everlasting.
We are standing in the power of divine mother's love. We are standing in the power of divine mother's love. We are standing in the power of divine mother's love. Come on, the dance floors there. We are standing in the power of divine mother's love. Stand up strong each and every day. Use your voice, speak in a better way. How long must we live this way for a brighter day?
Divine Mother's love, in all its magnificence, is compelling women to lead now. Our voices and actions burst forth in an ocean of great compassion, such that nothing can resist this unfettered and infinite love. We are here to guide. We are birthing the creation of our new civilization. Love in action, everywhere, all at once.
We are standing in the power of divine mother's love. We are standing in the power of divine mother's love. We are standing in the power of divine mother's love. We are standing in the power of divine mother's love. Stand up strong each and every day. Use your voice, speak in a better way. How long must we live this way for a better day?
Wow. Antoinette, that is such a powerful piece. You this is a woo.
Go ahead, take a bow. Did you take a bow? Did you take a bow? Take a bow.
Take a bow, Antoinette.
There you go. There's the bow. There's the bow.
Kristen, Summer Joy, Antoinette, Mom Joan, Nina, Danalia, and Pookie. Woo!
Women rising.
Was that not amazing or what? It took everything in me from not coming out on stage.
Marty's gonna be in the next one.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it just gets me. I feel so exhilarated. I mean, really, that is going to go around the whole world. I can already see it. I can feel it.
I feel it too. And we did it again in San Francisco last week when Scott was there. So Eshna was able to be there, and Elise Joan was able to be there. We flew her out from New York to come out there, and but that's how she injured her leg. But at least she made it out, and we were like, let's do a Rise of Divine Feminine Festival over at Golden Gate. And they were like, yes, let's do it. You know, so that was just the beginning. It started in Japan. It started at the 8th fire, but it's like it just keeps growing and growing and growing, you know.
Wow. Antoinette, who edited that video? Did you?
Me and Pato did.
You guys did it together. It's
Yeah.
just perfection. It's perfection.
Yeah. I had a different version because the one that I wanted to show in Japan was actually all of us in Japan, you know, and all the women that were there. And there was like, you hadn't seen the other video that I sent, but I took a lot of footage when we were walking all around the Fuji Sanctuary. And there was a lot of other beautiful things going on. So I said, all right, for now, let me just kind of get like the beginning of how it started with us in the 8th fire and to kind of like lay down the groundation and the foundation. from there, we'll just take the same song and we'll just add different images each and every single time. We could rinse this out over and over and over and over again, you know? So it's just the beginning.
Wow. So many blessings. That is just incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank
And
you.
you've created a wonderful new word, groundation.
Yeah.
It's a new word. It's when we
There's
are
a-
grounded in our foundation. It's a groundation. So that's a good one.
There's a band called Groundation, actually,
Oh,
and I
it's like
think that's what, yeah. And I think that's what they meant too. But yeah, you're right though. You know, I mean, when you look at the Omashar video that I did do with him, I was really spending a lot of time grounding, and that whole thought of just, you know, connecting with Mother Earth, connecting with Mother Spirit, connecting with everything has been a huge part of my own journey. And I noticed that everybody else is talking about it. And if everybody else is talking about it, that means we're all meeting in the cosmic mind, which is also part of the Mother Spirit. That is the creative Mother Spirit. That is not by chance or coincidence. That is not like, oh, that was some weird thing. No, this was totally divine that we're all happened to chance by meeting there. So our souls are going there. Our personalities are going there. Our hearts are going there. Our connection with God and the divine feminine is going there.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's a lot of wonderful comments coming in. I'm just going to read a couple of them. Nikki, who we're going to meet in a few minutes, writes, "Unity paves the way for brighter futures." Susan Bloomquist writes about your song, "We could hear that song over and over and over again." Ayana writes, "I'm so glad you made it. I have so many friends and family members on the islands that are without power or internet right now because of the storms. So glad that everybody is here." And that was in reference to Eleanor Joy, who came in from Vancouver. And just lots of comments coming in. The last one I'll read is from Reverend Jeffrey. "Love needs to rule the day. It is the only system of government that will work. We need only bring our minds in line with the mind of God, source to see clearly." Absolutely. Amen.
Amen.
Well, I'm turning it over to you, beloveds Pato and Antoinette, to share what you want to share and let me know what videos to show next. And Kristen, it's always amazing to have you.
Oh, it's so good to be here. I'm just every cell is tingling. I'm overjoyed. I'm inspired, and I can't imagine better people to lead us tonight than Pato and Antoinette. So,
I think we originally were going to show the Omashar video, and we actually the video we played was the Mother Spirit video. So there's one that's called Reflections with Omashar's name in it in the title.
We can get it to play, remember? That's
Oh,
what, yeah.
you couldn't play?
He couldn't download it.
Oh, okay.
So do you guys want to play it from you? Yeah.
Oh, I could probably play it from here then.
Yeah, go ahead and play it from there. And
All right.
any introduction needed?
Yeah, so like I said before, or where is it? Oh, no, I can't find it.
It would be in your email.
Yeah. Go ahead. You want to explain it, Pato, while I pull it up?
When Antoinette did her opening set, she actually played with Ben Bowler's mother, who was doing some readings and reflections about motherhood. And then Antoinette made a transition from Ben's mother to this song with Omashar called Reflections on Mother Spirit Reflections, which is a beautiful, really mellow track with Omashar on flute, which I didn't realize he played the flute so well, you know, and him and Antoinette together really made a beautiful song. So it's the Ubuntu song with Antoinette featuring Omashar.
All right. And it's nice if you heard what he was saying in the Unity Earth call today about the Mother Spirit. It was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. He needs to put his reflection with this video.
So you might want to
All right.
make it big. Fill the screen.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You'll see. It stops showing.
All right.
See, it pauses it. That's what I'm saying. Can you guys see that?
I'm sorry, I muted you guys because we were hearing your chatting. Yes, we can see it, but if you want to click full screen, we'll see a little bit more of it, but it sounds great and we are seeing it.
Uh-oh, I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, we're not hearing it now. Try unmuting and maybe start it from the beginning again.
Hi, Nancy.
All right. Okay. One more time. All right, here we go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, shit. All right. So that was the video from Japan, and the like I said, the scenery was basically like the grounds of the Fuji Sanctuary. You know, I had a chance to go around. I was basically running during that hike. I was just all over the place, but I just wanted to just capture it so that way people can kind of see like what the beauty was and what I was feeling, and like you can kind of get your own reflections from that. So Kristen, I've got so much footage from all my hikes from all over. I'm hoping we get together musically and come up with some very nice meditation, you know, videos to give people, because it's like if they could see what I see, you know, it's like when I'm walking out there, it's like that's kind of like what I feel, and that's how I express it through the music.
I loved how we were going on the journey with you. And it's inspiring. It made me think, oh, wow, I should do things. You know, it really takes you into that meditative experience, especially for those who weren't able to be there. We just get to experience that beauty. So thank you.
So with with everything else we've got going on, with this Asia tour, with the Ubuntu Screening World Tour, somehow in between everything, we organize a permaculture tour of Kenya to go and visit different farmers and agricultural and herbicultural and horticultural experts across Kenya to see what they were doing and what skills that they could share with each other. So before we go into more detail, I want to share another video quickly. It's the Permaculture Tour Part 1. Sorry to throw this at you so quickly, Scott. But yeah, that's the one, Part 1. So I want to show you this video, and then we're going to discuss the tour and share the climax of that tour.
Because all of this is happening after we had shot in the documentary. So just to prepare you for that. And so this is not part of the documentary. This is like a recap after the documentary as we continued on with the Ubuntu journey. All right.
That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now.
My name is Alfred Gitonga. This is our Irati Community Day. We are launching our video game project for Meru County.
That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. So tell all the people near and far, I am because we are, and that's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. The spirit of Ubuntu.
This is a little bumpy, huh?
Yeah, man. Hey, the spirit of Ubuntu. Ubuntu to the world.
Wow. Oh, yes, this is medicine.
Really good news right now.
Ubuntu women. Yes, that's right.
That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now.
Something else.
the spirit of Ubuntu.
This is why the plants are suffering, because you're not covering the soil and saving and conserving the water.
Conserving the water. The spirit of Ubuntu. Yeah, man. The spirit of Ubuntu.
To be honest, you people must come up with a new figure, a new name, not his name, not his name, not his name, not her name. A new group or a new CBO. Then together, let's represent Ohero region, Ohero village. And then from there, you'll have a voice. But peke yako, alone, you are not going anywhere. Because it is much more easier that when we travel this way, assume they come, it was easier to find everyone here, and then we talk together and we represent wherever we can.
That makes sense.
The spirit of Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Ubuntu.
Wow.
So that was just the first part of the trip. The second part, it gets even crazier. But quickly, I guess we'll tell them a little bit about the first part. Go ahead, Pato.
No, you go ahead.
All right. So none of this is in the documentary. You know, this is after we had picked up from that. The Million Beehive Project, you know, we met this guy the last time we had visited Kenya, and he was like, he has this mission to do 1 million beehives. And if you know what's happening in America, they keep trying to get rid of all the bees, or always all the pesticides and all the bees and burn out the bees. It's like, no, we want more bees. So he's created that initiative of 1 million beehives, and they've been teaching everybody how to become beekeepers, bee farmers. And then part of our initiative that we want to do is to help them export the honey out from Kenya, because they have like really all kinds of great medicinal organic honey, you know, that we can ship out around the world. So that's one of the things that we're working on. Number 2, Ann Okello. I met this woman through another group called Perma Agricultural Group, you know, and they asked for some help. And when I saw her documentary, I was so impressed. I was like, this woman, she all she ever wanted was an education. And her parents, they forced her into a marriage. They almost killed her child. It was like all this abuse and oppression and everything. And her whole thing was, we need to educate the women. We need to educate the girls. I want to have a future. You know, her entrepreneurship and her skills is so amazing. And it was like what she's been doing all across Kenya as one woman by herself, you know, and then through the Spirit of Ubuntu, you know, she's able to help so many different women. I'm like, wow, you know, because people don't even think like the most basic things. Like some of the women were like, we're happy to get 1 meal a day, you know, where others are happy to get some clean water. And they're like, no, we want more than that, you know, and we can do much more than that. If we only had like a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of resources, a little bit of spirit power amongst each other, if we come together as a community, as individuals, you know, working globally towards something. So I was really, really impressed with that. Yeah. And then the last part, Kibera. This is the largest slums in Africa. And when we came into that one little community, you know, it's like, look at, you didn't see no down faces. You know, it's like the poverty level is so bad over there. But, you know, when they come together and they start singing, I'm gonna have to show you, there's so many more videos. I mean, what Pato did with the kids over there and that community in Kibera, and there's more to come.
And we're building a school.
You're building a school, not just there, but they'll see it in the next video too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been several schools built so far, like 3.
Yep.
At least.
So yeah, so we flew into Kenya, and we picked up Roland Van Reenen, who's a permaculture specialist, and his wife, who's also very, very good at growing things. And then we had the driver,
Tahuti,
who I had no idea. I just thought he was a driver. He's actually a herbalist. He can pick up any plant along the road and just tell you everything about it and what it can do. It's just amazing, the amount of knowledge. He actually just finished his diploma, did he?
Yeah, he just got his degree.
He's just got his degree, so he's now a part of our Ubuntu.
As an herbalist, yes.
As our Ubuntu team, and he can't wait to get out there and get on the road and go and serve the community and help them to heal through herbs. Mm-hmm. So it was an amazing tour. It was a rough journey on the road in a very rough vehicle. that caught on fire
Oh yeah, I
while
forgot
we were
about that part.
driving.
Yes.
And the driver nearly got burnt as we were driving, but we managed to put the fire out, save everybody, and continue with the journey. And yeah, you know, the network in Africa is growing, you know. So
If they put if Ione or Nikki, if you guys can put the links inside, like on the website, we started with 10 organizations from the documentary, and now we've actually added another 10. And I believe we also, and part of the Ubuntu network is not just the organizations in Africa, but also around the world. Like the Global Peace Tribe, the Awakening World. I forgot to tell you, Scott, we've added you onto that global map as well. So you're on there. We the World is on there.
This is the website you're talking about.
Yes, this
So
is the website.
for everybody watching, and I want to welcome everybody watching on all the Facebook and YouTube channels. That's where most people are watching. So if you go to Spirit of Ubuntu, spelled ubuntu.us, and that's the website we're talking about.
The Spirit of Ubuntu.
It's actually spiritofubuntu.us. It works too.
Okay.
You remember, you actually did that on purpose.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you want me to show the organizations, Antoinette?
Oh, yeah. So if you spin the globe around and click on a dot, you know, so if you could just, put your finger on the globe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's Jeju. All right. Just spin the globe, click on it, and you can spin the globe around.
Oh, there we go.
There you
Look
go.
at this.
Oh, yeah. You see, so we started with 10. Now we've added more.
Click on any of those dots.
Click on any one of the dots, and it takes you to one of the organizations. And our goal is to fill up the whole world with all these dots. So as you see here in America, you got my organization. We've got Compassionate there.
Here we are.
We,
This
the
Global
World
Peace Tribe.
Global Peace Tribe. Yes,
Right.
because you're part of the Ubuntu network.
Fantastic. This is beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Our
It's kind of
base
fun.
for
Hey, kids,
this
we can spin the
website.
world. Oh, it goes all the way
Exactly.
through. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So we've only just started the map. We're going to be adding more to it soon again.
Yeah. We're just going to keep adding and adding
So-
and adding. Anybody who's doing Ubuntu work, we want to sit there and throw them into this global map, join the Ubuntu movement, join the Ubuntu network. And if they drop inside the link, our Substack, like I said, because there's so much happening, you know, as far as what's happening around the world, Ubuntu and what we've been doing, you can find out all the stories about Tahuti, about Anne, about each one of the individuals, like get the backstories, get some more videos, find out other things that are going on. If you want to support the organizations directly, or if you want to just support us, who's helping like everybody else, it's like your choice. All right.
So before we do Scott's promotional section, we want to share the second part two
Now,
of the Ubuntu.
should we share it? Because his was a little choppy, and the way that it lines up with the music, it's really
No,
good.
this one's okay. This
Okay.
one's okay.
All right, so here's the part two of the Kenya tour, and this is really, really funny and exciting.
This one should be called Ubuntu.
I think I got it. TV Ubuntu Village.
That's right.
Yes. Yay!
So we're back on schedule.
Ametenda mema. That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. So tell all the people near and far, I am because we are, and that's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. When I tell them, hey, the spirit of Ubuntu. Yeah, man. The spirit of Ubuntu. Ubuntu to the world. Our Father. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So you can have a
playing ground.
a play,
Ground.
Yes.
yeah, and
yeah.
then, but that's just the idea.
I love
and
it.
then they have
No,
play,
it's a good idea.
and
It
then
is
they
a
have
good
play
idea.
area
Good
in the
idea.
middle, so
Yeah.
they are safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, they're not playing behind the
We are
building.
done.
Yes.
We are done.
Play.
That's what we make it. We're done.
That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now.
Amen.
That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. So just break the ground.
Yes.
Break the ground.
That's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. So tell all the people near and far, I am because we are, and that's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. When I tell them, hey,
What tribe is this? Kamba.
the spirit of
Kamba.
Ubuntu.
Okay, Kamba tribe.
Yeah, man. The spirit of Ubuntu. The spirit of Ubuntu. Yeah, man. The spirit of Ubuntu.
Wow. That is just fantastic.
I know.
So many chills, you know, you singing, watching you sing the Lord's Prayer as you're about to cut, you know, the rope. And how do you pronounce your new name? How do we pronounce it?
Mwende for me. Mwende, and what's yours?
I can't even remember.
I got two African. I have two new African names. Nomvelo from South Africa, which means sister of the earth. You know, mother of the earth. And I was like, that fits perfectly. You know, with my whole grounding and stuff. And then Wende. But they surprised us with this wedding. I was like, we didn't know we were there to do the ribbon cutting, and then they're like, no, you're getting married, and they took us back in the bushes, carried us, and you know, we had this big wedding. And when you see all those people there, you have to understand they don't actually live right there. That's, you know, those people walk. So at the beginning of the video, the woman who came out, because she was sitting next to me and I was filming, she was somebody we picked up hitchhiking. You know, so there was all these people who were walking towards that area for the ground cutting
2
because
hours, 3 hours.
2 hours, 3 hours. These people, they're hiking for hours every single day, either to get that one meal of food or to get the water. So, you know, they don't live close. There's no cars out there. There's nothing out there. I mean, it's crazy.
It's incredible what you're doing. Absolutely incredible. And how do you get the funding for, say, the water project, for building the school? How are you raising money?
There's different ways, but go ahead. You could start with one of the
Well,
ways. Pato.
basically, 99.9% of the funding we get is from
Compassionate Las Vegas.
Compassionate Las Vegas, Stroke Charter for Compassion. We have a wealthy individual who believes in Ubuntu. He was responsible for the documentary, for sending us to Africa to 10 countries. For all the funding for the movie, he was responsible. And now we've gone into another phase of supporting the various hubs and the various people who are doing great Ubuntu work. So we've been helping about 15 different organizations across Africa. Mm-hmm. We can't tell you everything we're doing because some of it is classified as secret service. Mm-hmm. So we don't share everything we do. Somebody, I was telling someone on Facebook the other day some of the things we do, and they said, "You're showing off." And I was like, if you knew half of the things we did, then you could say I was showing up, but we're only sharing with you what the public knows. There's a lot of stuff we do that history will tell, you know, but right now we just want to do this work discreetly, quietly, and just make sure that the people we're supporting are supported adequately. Even the documentary, we did not plan to be in the documentary. We wanted to be in behind the scenes. We took our camera crew from Zimbabwe, two award-winning producers, on the road with us, and they were supposed to film all the people who were leading these organizations across Africa. But we had no idea that the camera crew were actually filming us, and they had drawn us in to the storyline of the whole documentary. And I guess it was because in Kenya, Go Pato became the #1 reggae hit while we were doing the Ubuntu documentary. So I had a hit song in Kenya, so everywhere we went, people were coming out to meet us and greet us, not only because of the documentary, but also because I was becoming even more well-known across Africa than I was before. And I was trying to play it down. People were asking me to do interviews. I refused to do all interviews. I only did one interview for the Kenya Broadcasting Company. They actually came to our hotel and interviewed us. But all other interviews I turned down because I was trying to just be low key. But you know, they still ended up putting us in the documentary.
So I saw in the comments from Grace Dennis that said, "What more can be done?" A lot more can be done. You don't understand. It's like when we started, it started with 10 individuals and organizations. By the time we went back, it went up to 20. By the time we went up again, it went up to 30. And right now we have so much requests from so many people from all over. It's like, it's really overwhelming. If you see like Pato's WhatsApp, my WhatsApp, our inboxes of the amount of people requesting help, it's like we need all hands on deck.
WhatsApp.
We need all hands on deck. You don't understand.
WhatsApp is Africa's favorite tool.
We need all hands on deck. We've got,
and they only have to type my name in WhatsApp and they find me.
It's not like, and you don't understand, it's not like we have unlimited money or resources to help. It's like, you know, even we get into arguments because I'm sitting there saying, I'm like, yo,
we've got unlimited resources.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Jesus pays the bills.
Well, fine. Then Jesus need to start paying some bills right now. Jesus need to start paying some bills right now.
All
because
bills have been paid.
These guests that I'm about to bring on, you know, which I'm glad that Emily is here, you know, and before one of the things that I've noticed, like we started to pick up One of my favorite now, is a Nakiveli refugee settlement. And this is just one settlement in Uganda out of several settlements in Uganda. There's 180,000 people living in Tent City. And out of this 180,000 people, and the average time that people actually spend there is about 17 years. And this I learned from Emily. She's been working and supporting them for a while, these youth and these kids. This is what really, really like stunned me, because I saw like this amazing art coming out from these kids. The way that they were able to the reason why they got into the arts was so that way to get them out of the depression. Because you got to remember, these kids are traumatized. They're coming from the Congo. They're coming from Malawi. They're coming from Sudan. They've lost their parents. They've lost their families. They've seen people raped, murdered, and pillaged right in front of them. And yet they've got like the biggest hearts and the biggest smiles and the biggest desire to live. And what I've seen them create, the way that I've seen them, like they're singing now. So it's like they're singing, they're doing art, they're doing fashion shows. And we just did some art, where we did like an art auction, where we're showing the stuff. But we'll get back into that part later after we're getting into the next segment.
All right, Scott, it's your time.
Yeah, we're trying to rush and squeeze everything in.
No,
But we
look,
need help.
take your time. We've got all night, and this is a fascinating show. So
Don't say that, Scott. Don't say that.
I want to acknowledge what a perfect couple you are, because you're both right. Pato is right in that we want to hold the vision of unlimited resources, but Antoinette is also correct on having the side of, and we also need to have the money to put in the checks, and you are both balancing each other beautifully. So I just want to acknowledge you as a beautiful divine couple, and it's not easy doing this work. It's unbelievable all that you do. So I acknowledge both of you as a dynamic, powerful couple, and wonderful role models and inspiration for us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and before you go on to the next thing, can one of you guys please put in our Substack inside the chat? For those who wanted to know what more can be done, if you sign up to our newsletter, you'll be able to see how we're always showing and highlighting the different projects, the different people. And if you're just subscribing to the newsletter, it is a free newsletter. But if you want to subscribe and pay for the monthly subscription, all of that money goes into there, and that all goes towards everybody that we're supporting as well.
You might want to delegate the responsibility to one person in case you have 5 people doing
Nobody's, I'm checking, so that's why I'm saying it can keep going.
I see 2 people working on it. Right?
Awesome.
And I want to say I am a proud subscriber to your Substack. So I'm going to bring it up for all the people who are watching on Facebook or YouTube. If you go to Ubuntu International _Substack.com or .com. And that's where you can find it. And definitely you want to subscribe, where you can learn all about the amazing things that they're doing. I'm going to read it one more time, so you can go there. Ubuntu International _Substack.com. And definitely
if you click on the no thanks,
right, and once you click in, then you can decide. You can go monthly, annual. I think I did annual, founding member, and none. So there's a lot of different ways you can come in. Even if you don't have money, you can come in here. But at least on one of these here, okay?
Click on the free so they can see what it looks like.
All right. You want to click
free?
Okay. So we're clicking free, and here we go. Here comes the root starter.
Oh no, you have to go back.
Okay.
There's an echo from somewhere.
There is an echo, so everybody needs to mute.
All right, so there. Go back to. Oh no, it's up there at your top there.
We need to move.
Oh, here we go.
No.
You want to
go down on the bottom where it says continue.
Okay, doke.
Yeah. And just maybe later, just skip.
Okay.
Yeah, skip.
Publication.
Maybe later, no.
Okay.
Down at the bottom, see underneath there. It says.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Beautiful. Spreading the spirit of Ubuntu through film festivals worldwide, all the different film screening events that they're doing. And you're going to be launching the film on MLK Day. I just heard that earlier today.
Yes.
Beautiful. So this is where we can get a lot of the information by going to ubuntuinternational.substack.com. Wow, well, make some tea. I'm not going to be long. I'm going to be about 5 minutes. And then we've got a live musical performance, and we've got several more videos to watch. And your videos are so amazing. They're so inspiring. Kristen Hoffman, what do you think so far? I'm going to bring Kristen up for a second. What has touched you the most so far tonight?
Oh my gosh, it's every moment just gets more touching. Every single expression out of Pato and Antoinette is filled with goodness, spirit, Ubuntu, love. I mean, I just can't believe, honestly, that two people can accomplish all of this. And it's infectious. Like, you see this and you feel it and it goes into your being. And I get this feeling like, wow, what can I do? And I know that I speak for everyone here and everyone who's going to watch this, that you have figured out that encoding, that rather than sitting around and thinking, oh, we can't make any difference in the world, this work that you're doing is activating people. And I really think you are going to, that whole globe is going to be filled with little dots, and everybody's going to be doing their part, and we are going to feel it on this planet. So I can't wait to become a member of your Substack. I'm going to do that right now.
Thank you. And not only that, it's not just the Substack, but if one of you guys can drop the Ubuntu family group from Facebook, this is like a community, just like how we have our Unity Earth community, and we have the Global Peace Tribe community, you know, or the Evolutionary Leaders groups. This is called the Ubuntu family, where I have the people in Africa and the other people that we met around the world. I say, come and join this community and see what everybody's doing with each other. And sometimes I just go in there, I share some gardening tips. They share gardening tips with me. Sometimes it's like, sometimes people don't realize, even if you don't have money, you could share a word. You could just, be there to, like, give some inspiration to somebody else, or to talk to somebody else from across the globe. So we have Africans, we have Americans, we have Asians, and we have everybody just kind of like mixing in the group, just kind of like becoming part of that Ubuntu family. And that costs nothing, to sit there and just to share a little bit of your time, or to share like something that's positive, or to share some music. Like we just dropped Quayo's video in there. It's like, yeah, that's something that's inspiring as well too, and then we can all support each other that way. But at least I noticed for them that can't, if they can't be on long Zooms or whatever because of the Wi-Fi or the data, at least they can kind of like make friends and communicate with each other. Same thing like how they do in our ministry. Nancy's a big person of that in our ministry, where she's always socializing with everybody in our ministry. And she does that from the comforts of her home, and she can sit there and meet people from all over the world. So I think that's a great place for people to come together in the Ubuntu family group.
Okay, beautiful. So I'm pulling it up right now on Facebook. And this is a wonderful way for people to connect. So for all of you watching on Facebook, and thank you, John and Summer and the Sign Network, for putting us out to a lot of Facebook groups and pages today. Just go to Facebook group, facebook.com, obviously, /groups /Ubuntu FAMS, FAMS /. That'll take you there. We are. There's the program happening right now. And that's where you can tune in and see what's going on. So that's another way to connect with the wonderful work.
MC Don. Yeah.
Beautiful. There you are.
Yeah, there's Tahuti. You can see the things that he's doing. I learned so much from him too. So you could ask questions, because he is an herbalist, and he's like he's like, those aren't weeds. Don't chop those. Those aren't weeds. That will help you with your liver. That will help you with malaria. That will help you if you got digestive problems or different things like that. So it's encouraging to know that we can all come together and support each other in that way too.
Speaking of coming together and supporting each other, I'm really proud of our family, because another wonderful couple that we love are Connie and Andrew. And we just learned, I guess it was maybe a week ago, it was very recent, that Connie and Andrew had been scammed, and they had lost $5,000, had been stolen out of their bank account. And this was the money that they needed. And so we right away put together a GoFundMe, and when I first saw the GoFundMe, they were at $200, and in a week they are now at $4,201. And I want to just acknowledge, look at all these global peace tribers that supported you. I mean,
Nice.
half these names are people that are in this room right now, or that are regular Global Peace Tribers. So
Very
thank
nice.
you, Global Peace Tribe, for all the wonderful ways you've come in to support Connie and Andrew. But if you haven't donated yet, please do so. And I'm going to put that into the chat box in just a moment. So let's all support Connie and Andrew. And I think they're in the room right now. There they are. I'm going to bring them up for a moment. There you are.
Hey, guys.
Hey, lovebirds.
I need you to unmute. There you go.
Hello, Antoinette. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Scott. Hello, family.
Yes, yes, yes. And Pato and Antoinette, you're just spreading so much love and light to the world. How do you do that? You're just amazing. Unstoppable.
Really beautiful.
Nice one.
They are unstoppable. They really are. So please do support them by going to the GoFundMe. I just put it into the chat box. And again, for those of you that are watching on Facebook, if you just go to GoFundMe and you put in Connie and Andrew, it comes right up. Andrew and Connie recover from fraud and theft. And you need to raise your goal. We're going to pass that goal. Let's try and pass it tonight. What do you say? Let's try and pass that $5,000 mark this evening. So I'll come back to you guys at the end of the show and we'll see where we stand. All right.
Wonderful. And you know what? This is our film. This is our budget for the film. We had just received a very nice donation of $7,500 and managed to buy a new computer that I needed for the editing. We're just getting toward. Then somebody got into the bank account. I think maybe an inside job. I can't tell. And here we are. And here's this huge blessing coming from the family. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We love you all.
We love you too. And Connie and Andrew will be on our show next week, next Wednesday night, a week from tonight, just before Thanksgiving. And they're two of our guests. And they're going to be sharing all about what really happened, the real story of what took place at the first Thanksgiving.
So guys, what bank are you with?
Discover.
Discover. Do not discover.
Thank you. I will be avoiding them.
They're not giving us our money back without a fight.
That is terrible.
We had horrible bank issues as well too. That was and we had to leave Chase, and it held up a lot of the projects that we were doing. Like they literally took the money.
No. What they did was we had a lot of money in the bank from donations, and Chase actually zeroed the account without telling me that they were shutting down the account or stopping me from continuing to support Africa. And they basically said I was doing too much, sending too much money to people in Africa. And my organization is a church. It's the Denture Church Ministry. And they shut down my church. Without telling me, without any warning. They just shut me down. Then they asked me to do accounting, backdated accounting, which only the Inland Revenue have the right to ask you for that, because churches don't have to report their accounting. But I went and did it anyway, and the day I handed it in, they shut the account totally and gave me a cashier's check and told me to go and put my money somewhere else.
What a riot.
I think we need to start our own bank. Can we start a bank, Frank?
Yeah. So,
Bank of Ubuntu.
Ubuntu
Ubuntu International. There it is.
So, there's a lot of issues with banks, but thank God they did not confiscate my money. They just gave me a cashier's check.
Oh, then it is gone.
So, but it's come back through the love of the community. So thank you, everyone.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Connie and Andrew. And I have just one more announcement for now, and then we'll make a couple more this evening. But for all of you who are watching on Facebook and YouTube, and you haven't joined the Global Peace Tribe yet, come join us. And now's a wonderful time to join because we've got a half price subscription offer. If you go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, you can learn all about us, all of our shows. There's Kristen Hoffman right there. And there's Patron Antoinette. So we have a lot of amazing people that are on the show. We do a show every Wednesday night, every Saturday night, and once a month we have a Sacred Sunday show. And then we do special events as well. So when you go to globalpeacetribe.com, learn all about us. That's where you can see all about the different shows that we do, and click register for the new season. That'll take you to our registration page. And there's a lot of different levels you can come on. And we just added a special 11/11 promotion. So you can subscribe for $11.11. Get all the links, all the information. So come join the Global Peace Tribe and do it now. You can come right into the Zoom room. As soon as you register, you get the link for tonight's show. So you can come on in and visit with us. A lot happens in the chat box. We have a beautiful, truly global community. We've got people from Ecuador, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, that are all in the room right now, actually. So it's truly a global peace tribe growing. And with that, I turn it back over to you, Pato and Antoinette. And you need to unmute.
All right.
So Antoinette is going to introduce some friends and talk about Ubuntu Day.
Yes. So one of the things I'd like to introduce, if you could bring up onto the stage with us, is Ione Angeles and Nikki Black and Nikishia. I believe she's there as well. So basically, what we did was, because I believe this movement is a movement that can change the world for the better and for the future, we hosted our own Ubuntu Day here in the city of Lake Elsinore. Last year we did like an Indenture Wellness Day, and then this time I decided, I was like, what a great thing to do if we do an Ubuntu Day in the city of Lake Elsinore, and then if we create this one template and then make an Ubuntu Day in cities all across the globe, and so basically we shared a screen and then we did some other things. So I'm going to go ahead and is Nikishia here that we can bring
I saw her come into the Zoom room, but she's not here right now. So I'll keep an eye out for her.
All right. So I'll go ahead and all right. So who wants to go first? All right, Ione.
Okay.
All right. So explain to them what we did for Ubuntu Day and what it was all about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a community event. It was to bring the community together. It was on a holiday weekend, so there was a lot of families that showed up, which was really beautiful. We had so many aspects that were blending together. We had the music, we had the plants that were given to us by Lowe's, which was amazing. And I know we can broaden this on a bigger scale, as we grow. We had healers, we had sound healing, we had live music performances. And it was just a beautiful blending for the community who probably has never seen anything like that before. And we did have another event, which was the Indenture Wellness event. So some of those same people were there. What was so beautiful about the event and everything that we've done together is watching everyone watch the film, because there is something about it that touches everybody to their soul. Absolutely. That was the core of it. And all those other things were before and after the film. What I noticed from that day, and also from the film in LA that we went to, which was magnificent as well. That's a whole other thing. It's like when we watch these beautiful people that are living, when we feel like we don't have anything, here in America, and we want this and that. And these people, the joy that they find in just being together and being alive, I think that Americans really need to see this. They need to feel it. And when they do, it really makes everyone just feel the gratefulness and joy that these people are feeling with barely anything. And I think that's the power of all of that, is to see that these, you know, the majority of the people in the world are living like this. And I did live in the hills in Jamaica for many years, and it was the same feeling of the joy that we've been maybe missing, or that has been buried within us, just come alive, you know, that sense of community and helping each other. And there's been so much separation in America that I think that, you know, this core thing of Ubuntu is definitely what the world needs. And it is, like you said, it's such a neutral word. It's not based on any religion. It's not based on any race. It's a concept of unity, in that we're all in this together, and we are. And also, you know, in every aspect of our living, if we can apply that, even, you know, sometimes I think about when I'm cooking, you know, just how many people it took to get me that meal, you know, all the farmers, all the truck drivers. And it's just, there's so many people involved in every little thing we do. And to be able to be aware of that and to be reminded of that, I think, is the whole spirit of Ubuntu. And the Ubuntu Day really brings that together. I'll have to say, at the LA screening, it was so magnificent because we're in downtown Los Angeles. We're at a major movie theater, and people are coming into this theater like they're going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark or something. And, you know, everyone really didn't know what to expect, but like I was sitting next to some of my Jamaican friends on one side and a few ladies I didn't know on the other side. And I was like watching my Jamaican friends, just how chill and in depth I could see their minds, like feeling like they were in Africa. And then the lady next to me and her were just feeling just so uplifted and joyful. And I can say that, you know, for everybody else, like everybody, it sparks an emotion and a feeling. And that's what I have to say. And I'm so happy to be associated with this and everything that you guys are doing. Obviously, I've known you guys for a long time, and we do music, and now it's kind of blending into all this other stuff, which is stuff that I'm so heartfelt about as well. And I'm so happy to be with you on this journey.
We love you, Ione.
Thank you.
So Ione is also, so she was performing at the Ubuntu Day. She's also performs on MLK Day with us for San Diego. And she's also one of our board of directors for Identia. You know, so when we do get that project off the ground or the ground up and going and growing, whatever, you know, she will be she's part of our team when it comes to Identia and stuff.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, Nikki Black. All right, where's our girl, Nikki?
Hey, hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Wow. I just have to say, every time I see a piece of the documentary or just see Antoinette and Pato in Africa helping people break ground and helping people build buildings, I feel like I could do that here in my local area. And it just gives me this immense amount of I can do it because we can do it kind of feeling. And so I feel when I went to the Ubuntu Day in Lake Elsinore, that was my first time actually seeing the full documentary. And my goodness, it just opened up my heart so much that I just wanted to hug on everyone. It inspires you. It makes you want to just be there for people that you probably have never crossed paths with before. But it was like it felt meant to be. So I feel their journey is meant to be. I just get these visions that it's going to be more than we even anticipate. And it's always that way when you're doing good deeds to the community and to people, that you don't ask for anything else, being mindful and being selfless. So I'm so grateful to be a part of providing the music and creating song, because that also speaks to people and inspires.
Oh, we lost your voice.
Just
You
muted
muted yourself, Nikki. You just muted yourself.
Sorry. But it makes me feel that if more people see the documentary, more people are going to be there for one another and not ask for money, not ask for anything, but just be together, period. Not need anything back. Because there's something about Ubuntu, the spirit of it, it feeds our hearts. And when you let go of your personal box, your personal shrouding, and you let that in, it's like you're invincible. And I feel that I'm blessed to have Pato and Antoinette in my life because they've opened up my eyes to that, as well as allowing me to sing and participate and bringing more arousement to the community to just be a part of what we're trying to do. And it's so amazing that they've done the whole world tour. I mean, what energy is that? Who has that much energy when you're such older? I can see that for younger folks. And that gave me an idea. We need to get more younger folks involved in this because they'll speak more volumes than what we can, just because there's people that are just so silo thinking. And if they hear it from their peers, they'll just want to open up being there for each other and not ask for anything back and just see the spirit grow in them. And I've definitely felt that all year. Like I said, I'm blessed to know these beautiful lights, because that's what they are, is lights and helping us achieve our own lights. So I recommend anyone that hasn't seen the documentary, see it, because I was on my seat. I was smiling and my friends were like, why are you smiling? I'm like, do you see what's happening in front of us? So I just feel like, if anything, at least see the documentary and you'll know what I'm talking about. As well as the MLK, I'm going to attend that too with Ione, because I feel like this is just the beginning. And I'm so fortunate to be a part of the beginning. So I can keep trucking and getting some younger folks, getting people my age into it more, and being able to share that in a community type of base and just help others attain something more than what the worldly thoughts are that we should have. Because Ubuntu, the spirit of Ubuntu, and being there with people that have already not been silent in helping you achieve stuff, but now you realize, because you're mindful, that it's more than me. It's a community. So thank you so much, Pato and Antoinette. I'm blessed, like I said, and I'm happy and I'm grateful and I'm humble to be a part of this, because this is going to be so great. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. And
I want to read I want to just read a few comments from our audience before we let Nikki go, because some of them are directed to you, Nikki, and we always like to include our Zoom room audience. George Noble writes, "Thank you, Nikki." Nancy Hill writes, "How blessed we are." Connie and Andrew write, "Nikki, that is so beautifully and inspiringly expressed." Iota is suggesting showing Ubuntu in Santa Cruz. It's a community that would be very receptive. And yes, in a moment, I want you to share with us how we can see the documentary, because a lot of people are asking that question. Susan Bloomquist writes, "You have such a sincere message, Nikki."
Yeah,
Harry
it's
Anderson,
true. It's true.
It's true. Our wild monk for the Mystic Monastery, Jerry Anderson, writes, "Pato and Antoinette, groundation of the land, your sweet valley, Adentia." And I know Jerry's been there. And Nancy Hill reminds us, "I am because we are."
We are.
Spirit of Ubuntu.
Yes.
You know, Scott,
Yes.
Nikki was there. Remember at the Golden Gate? She was the one singing this freedom song with me.
Of course.
Yes.
God, you know what I noticed? You were trying to get her to sing, and Nikki, you looked like you were shy to sing. And Antoinette's going, "No, go ahead." And Nikki's kind of like, "Really? Are you sure?"
I was like, this girl, let me tell you something about this girl. So I'm sitting there because we know each other from like, so I said, "You got a voice." So I said, "Come and sing something," because everybody who knows that what I'm doing with the Roots Daughter Collective is like, I just bring all these women together so that way we could perform and do something together. I'm like, "You got a voice." So I was like, "Come on and come sing with us." So she came, she was late both times. And so I was like rolling my eyes at her. I'm like shooting like darts at her across the thing. I'm like, "Get up here and get on the stage." Girl, what the hell are you doing? You know? And then she comes up there, she's like, "Okay, let's just," and like, "Why are you hiding back over here by me?" I'm like, "Get out front. Get out front." you know, because I was like, she really does have a beautiful voice, and she's a sweet and humble girl and everything. And that's why I keep saying, I'm like, if we could just share the stage more, you know, not everybody, especially for women, it's like it's so hard for them to be able to get a chance to be able to sing on stage if somebody else doesn't provide the space for them to be able to get up on the stage, you know.
It's
so
a big difference.
Yeah, so Rashida's sitting next here. I told her, I was like, Rashida, you're gonna sing at MLK Day too. She's like, what? She goes, I was gonna bake. I'm like, no, you ain't baking. You're gonna sing. This is what we do. It's like, come on, you sing all the time, and I love the voices. It's like the harmony, the frequencies. We need this. We're stronger together. This is Ubuntu.
Yes.
So
Well, you know,
MLK Day.
I'm glad you pointed out that was Nikki, because I didn't. You were pretty bundled up on that stage, so I
was.
didn't recognize you now. But you know, something else that they did that was beautiful was they brought up children. They brought up all the young people, and they had some of them dancing and some of them doing percussion. And I tell you, there's one girl who really got into it. And I was telling Emily, my date who was with me that night, I said, "You guys changed her life," because that night, she saw I can be on stage, and I this, and she was a natural at it. And then Pato gave her a beautiful gift, a beautiful scarf, and I just watched this girl. Maybe she's 15. Her life changed. Her life changed that night because of the way you empowered her. It was beautiful to see.
It's funny that you actually said that, because that happened while we was in Brazil in that crowd of thousands of people. There was a 7-year-old girl who went viral overnight. I mean, before the end of the night, it was like 100 and something thousand views of this one little girl in this whole audience full of adults. And she was in the front, and her video went viral all over. And now she's like the most famous girl in Brazil. Her name is Victoria. And everybody thought we planned it. It was like, no, it was like she gave Pato this little heart, you know, and then he just saw her and he brought her up on stage, and the crowd went nuts. They're like, Victoria, Victoria, Victoria. And it was like, everybody knows who this girl is in Brazil.
That was before we even started the song.
Yes.
They were chanting her name because I said, "Do you want to sing with me?" And she goes, "I don't know." And everybody started chanting.
Yes.
And then we started the song Go Pato, and she just took over the song. She knew every single word. And I was just standing there watching this girl, and the crowd was just going crazy. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Ayanna, I'm going to post the video.
Amazing.
Yeah, you'll find it. It's definitely on YouTube. I'll post it for you inside the chat, Ayanna. Because it's amazing. It just makes you cry. It's like, because I was crying on stage.
But
I'm like, oh my God.
We do have a clip of that crowd. If you could,
This might be a good time to go to the Ubuntu Live in Brazil video.
Let's show the Ubuntu Live video right now.
Yeah.
So check out how many thousands of people were there.
It's about 9,000.
Oh my!
Wow.
She's the only child in the entire audience.
It was a small club show.
And this was just what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
When you realize your family is all of humanity, that's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. When you want more peace and unity, hey, you know your community, that's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. When the love and respect I have for you, it's the same you want for me, that's Ubuntu. So tell all the people near and far, I am because we are, and that's Ubuntu. Ubuntu now. When they tell them, hey, the spirit of Ubuntu.
I think we lost it, Scott.
Sao Paulo, let me hear you, come on. Hey, the spirit of Ubuntu. 2 more times.
Wow. Look at all those people learning about Ubuntu. Amazing. I think I saw Kristen coming on. Yeah, there she is.
Inspiring, right?
I was writing wowza. So inspiring. Woo!
Wow. Wow. And you know, I just love how just the incredible global reach. I mean, look at what we've just seen. You're both playing to crowds of 9,000 in stadiums. And then you're working with people, you pick up a kid at a time in Africa or and you're with us tonight. I mean, it's just amazing the levels that you play at. I want to acknowledge also when we had our Global Peace Tribe retreat in LA, and they came and a whole other part of their wonderful ministry really is teaching about the Urantia book. And you turned our Global Peace Tribe audience who was there on a Sunday morning onto the Urantia book, which is a truly holy sacred text. So I just appreciate all the different ways you are spreading the spirit of Ubuntu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And we also went to the UK in the middle of all of this too. About 12 days ago, we went to the UK, and I got 3 of my daughters to come and perform with me live on stage. They were my backing singers, and it was the first time they'd ever come and sang with me on stage. And it was a huge crowd in London.
Yes.
And it was amazing. Really, really amazing. I haven't shared that footage yet.
But I think the funniest footage is the rehearsal with them and the guitars. Yeah. That was really good. It has been a crazy year, and it's been a rough year because when we were doing all the screenings and going back and forth to Africa was also the time when you had lost your mother too. You know, so and it was really rough because we were like, are we going to continue on? Are we going to move on? Or were you going to go back to the UK and take care of your mother, or all these different things? So there was just a lot of things that was just like on our plate at the same time. But you know, when you just keep your faith and your love for God, everything just has to just unfold. You know, you have to just let go, and you have to just let God, you know, and despite all the difficulties in life and everything, you just kind of carry on and just move forward, you know. So.
I love one of the comments here in the audience. Heidi writes, they were trying to prop up Kamala as bringing joy, but obviously it's you, this beautiful couple, Pato and Antoinette, who are the real ones who are bringing extreme joy throughout the world through the spirit of Ubuntu. Absolutely. Pato and Antoinette for president. Absolutely.
Hey! So
they used to say Pato for president all the time and everything.
Yeah. So Scott, we do have one more trailer to share.
And I had one more guest that, remember, we have Emily that was
Oh yeah.
there.
So you can do Emily first, and then we'll share the trailer before we wrap up.
Okay. All right. Can you bring up Emily Kaminsky?
Here she is.
All right. So while Emily is talking, just keep my screen on. I'm going to show you what we're talking about, you know, as she's talking about these kids and the art. As you can see, the piece behind her, I actually have it in the RV because I just got it the other day. And I have the other pieces. So please tell them about what we've been doing with the youth over in Machiavelli. And I'll be showing the artwork at the same time, okay?
Awesome. Great. Hi, my name's Emily. I'm a longtime supporter of permaculture efforts, particularly in Kenya. I live in the United States. That's how I found Antoinette and Pato, was through mutual friends doing the same sort of thing. And I migrated in terms of my interests and support to refugee artists. So there's quite a large group of refugees in Uganda and Kenya, from Congo, Rwanda, Burundi. And in particular, I support a group called Nakivale Young Talent Community. And they are an artist collective of 15 young artists, ages 15 to 22. And they also run an arts education program for over 80 youth and children, refugee children in the settlement, basically providing them with an opportunity to express themselves visually. As Antoinette was saying, all of them have gone through terribly traumatic events, lost family members, and are living in very difficult circumstances in the settlement. People receive less than $5 a month to live on, and job opportunities are basically zero. So art has become not only a way to express themselves, but also as an opportunity to earn some income for themselves and their family. And so Antoinette and I decided, well, just to back up, June 1st, I did an art expo online to basically showcase their work to my friends on Zoom. And then we decided late September, we would do something similar where we had 16 artists, 10 from the refugee settlement, 3 from Kibera slums in Kenya, and 3 from Massachusetts, an arts group that I know here. And they all presented their art. They rehearsed their 1-minute spiels about their art pieces. And simultaneous with the online art expo, we held an art auction, which was Antoinette's ingenious idea. Her group Stand Up for Justice was able to sponsor that on a platform called Give Butter. And we ended up selling 20 pieces of art. Antoinette was a buyer, I was a buyer, but many other people were buyers as well in the US, Italy, and Australia, maybe elsewhere. I can't remember where else we sent art. We raised over $1,000 net. That's net of shipping, net of all costs, for the arts education group in Uganda, as well as the arts education group in Kibera slums. Each group used their money basically to purchase more supplies for their arts education programs. The group in Kibera ended up using some of their money to purchase supplies to run a soap making workshop for the children there. Sanitation is a big concern and issue, and so making your own soap was on their top priority list. But yeah, as you can see, that these artists are soulful. Their images are often they're always uplifting. As Antoinette says, the divine feminine, nature and environment. Oftentimes the themes in their paintings include time. You'll often see clocks, eyes covered. There are a lot of themes that they seem to share that express how they feel trapped, like time is wasting. A lot of these kids they came when they were 10 or 11 years old, and they're now in their early 20s. So art is an opportunity for them to express themselves and to make some money, support themselves, support their families. And yeah, it's a passion. I also write on Substack about this refugee group in particular. Sort of it's a way to share what it's like to be a young refugee artist in Uganda, obviously through my writing, but I talk with them on a daily basis, so I'm able to share a lot of their stories, and challenges and successes.
Yes, these oil paintings are still for sale. And Emily, she's been helping us with the Ubuntu marketing. She's been teaching us how to use Substack, and the way that she's been helping us like tell each one of the stories, because I'm not really necessarily like a great writer, so I go to her all the time. I'm like, can you help me edit? Can you help me write? Can you help me like format and do all the different things, so that way the stories. But the way that she interviewed so many of the different people, in our Ubuntu family and stuff, I'm like, wow, they're like really touching and beautiful stories. And then the art, because she did like 60-day challenge where you did like an interview with every single person for 60 days straight, and then you feature them and you focus them. But yes, Kristen, this art is still for sale, because this is one of the reasons why I end up buying a lot of art, and I didn't have a lot of time to actually like really promote it, was that my goal is to get more of the art for us to be able to hold more auctions, so that way we can raise more money and be able to send it back into the kids over back in Machiavelli. When we had that art auction, this is the thing that was freaking me out, was that Akon, the one who had started this whole thing, he was in the hospital with typhoid. Me and Emily, we were like back and forth with each other between flights and everything, and it was like his family thought he was gonna die. He's sitting there laying on his deathbed sending me a message, "Hi, how's everything going?" I'm like, dude, you better like get it together, and you better live, and you know, we got all these things that we're about to do and stuff like that. And then when she told me what was happening, I'm like, there's no reason why kids are having typhoid. This is crazy. What can we do? How can we support them? Typhoid is a situation that is an easy fix if they have the proper tools and the necessities that they need within this refugee camp. And it just takes a little bit of us and everything that can come together to, like, you know, get the sanitation, get this, get that, get all these different things together. So yes, we want to get more art out there. These paintings are still for sale. We will send more money back. And it was weird because there was so many that were so beautiful, and it's like it's hard for me to let go of these, because it was like the way the kids talked about the divine feminine in their art, I was just like blown away, because I'm like, wow. And you know, and they're just young kids, and the way the boys were describing the divine feminine, I'm like, wait a minute, our youth here need to understand about the divine feminine. You know, they need to understand that, you know, the divine feminine and the sacred masculine together, so that way we can have a little bit more peace and harmony. They understand what violence looks like. They understand that we need peace. They understand that we need more feminine energy. They know, you know, we need to bring all that together. Go ahead, Pato, because you... But anyway, Emily, thank you so much. So subscribe to the Ubuntu International Substack. And if you guys want to know how much the art is, we can have another auction. And we'll put that up in, because I didn't write the article on this whole thing with the art thing, but we'll actually put it up in the article. She's got it on there, and we'll just reshare, you know, a lot about these kids and their artwork. You know,
I'm gonna go to the website for a moment of the artwork.
Yes.
And what I saw Emily write is that people, if they see something they like, reach out. So the website, for any of you who want to go there, it's givebudder.com/C/NAKIVALE arts. So it's Naki Valley Arts /auction. And of course, that link is in the chat box, which is where I found it. And look at some of this beautiful, beautiful work. And it's all part of, you know, Antoinette, you and I first started working together with Stand Up for Justice. The first shows we did together were promoting Stand Up for Justice, and then your concert. And, you know, it's amazing how many different things you're involved in. So I just want to put a shout out for Stand Up for Justice. And this is clearly one of the more recent Stand Up for Justice projects. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Scott. And it was because I was like, because between MLK Day, we started Stand Up for Justice really on your show, you know, when we really kind of just started before we even became a formal organization. And then I just kind of continued going with the things that I believed in and was supporting of. And then, you know, and it became my organization to do like what I wanted to do. And I was like, the arts is just as important, just as much as feeding. We've got to feed the soul just as much as we got to feed our mouths, because that was the whole thing that I noticed with these kids, was about like how much love and how much happiness and how much joy they had. And I was like, wow, that's really amazing, versus when you just feed somebody and it's like, you know, it's like, that's why the documentary is so different. This isn't like the feed the world, like, feed the starving, hungry, poor Africans or something. It's like, no, this is something where it's like, we're feeding the soul. We're feeding like the joy and the experience of everybody, so that way they can have the joy and experience themselves too, you know. Go ahead, Pato.
I think the motivation of the Ubuntu movie as well is that it's not about what the Africans can get from the West. It's what the Africans can give to the world. It's
That's right.
What Africa has to offer. Exchange. You know, and the world goes to Africa, the West goes to Africa and takes a lot of stuff, a lot of times illegally. But this is about what Africa has to give as a philosophy that can change the world and make it a more loving, caring, and harmonious place. You know, if we would only practice these principles. So, in conclusion, you know, the Ubuntu movie will be officially released on MLK Day, and we're hoping to get it onto, you know, a few decent, respectable streaming outlets.
Yes.
We haven't confirmed yet, but we're working on the distribution deal right now, and hopefully everybody around the world will be able to see the movie. And we've had an amazing tour this year. We've been touring all year, and we still have more people that want us to bring the movie to different parts of the world. So we'll see how things pan out. But our main focus right now is to take the next couple of months, you know, or the rest of November and December, to just focus on distribution, focus on getting some rest, on healing, and preparing for the next big show for Martin Luther King Day and the release of the documentary in early January.
So a few things I wanted to do to support you. First off, Awakening World and Global Peace Tribe is going to be very active in this 40-day journey of peace, which is going to kick off with Martin Luther King's birthday, January 15th. Every year since I met you, we've done something with you on MLK Day. And this time it's going to be the release of the Ubuntu documentary. And so as we get closer to it, we're all going to want to know how we can best see it and watch it. And we're going to be supporting all of these different events that are taking place as we collaborate with Unity Earth and John and Summer and the Compassion Games and Pato and Antoinette. You know, there's just beautiful how all these different people and groups and organizations come together. I also would like for us to take a moment of prayer. You know, we have started praying on our show, and I'd like for tonight's prayer to be for the two of you and the work you're doing with the Spirit of Ubuntu. And as Paramahansa Yogananda taught, the greatest prayer is maximum grace. So all of us, maximum grace for Pato, for Antoinette, for their health, for their well-being, and for them to have all the support they need as they do this tremendous work in the world. Maximum grace for Pato and Antoinette.
Amen.
Amen.
So we do have the closing trailer to show.
And I've got it right here. Is this the one called Awakening Ubuntu clip?
Awakening World, Awakening Ubuntu.
Perfect. Let's take a look. Oh, it's not playing. Let me try it again. It's queued up here too. It's funny how it does that. Let's try it again. Come on, baby. You gonna play this time? Yes.
While you're doing that, there's so many people who are asking. Oh, Ali, go ahead.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Thank you. So
Mm.
a couple of the questions in here. No, we're not affiliated with Michael Tellinger, but I did spend a month in South Africa, and I spent a month in South Africa, and I did spend some time with Louise Clark over in Mpumalanga. So that was a really grounding experience, and part of my healing. That was also part of my healing. So thank you for sending that, Scott, about like about our own healing, because one of the things that I'm going to be doing, as we're getting ready for this and before the MLK Day, is I'm going back to Taiwan for 2 weeks, back to my home country, so I can ground and connect with Mother Earth and my roots and grounding. I am the roots daughter, so it's not just my roots in Africa, but it's also my roots in Asia. And if you notice, it's like the way that I look now. I just weighed myself the other day, and I'm 20 pounds heavier than where I was when I was on my healing journey. And I noticed that I think this has started to happen when we were in Japan. When I started to notice, it's like, wait a minute, my weight has shifted, because for a long time I was so underweight, after my diagnosis, that like when you see in the film, like people who actually watch the documentary where I look very thin, there was times when I was like really, these past few years, I was down to like 80 pounds. And it's
Wow.
like, I know, I know. And I was I was like 79 pounds, and I was like freaking out, like thinking I was gonna die. I'm like, what is going on? It's like, and I was like looking it up, like cachexia. I was like, am I dying because I'm losing weight, or cancer's eating me, or whatever? Like, I'm trying to figure things out, and I just didn't understand what was going on. So like my healing journey. So thank you so much for suggesting the GoFundMe and helping me do that during that time. And Ione for setting that up for me, because if it hadn't been for you guys and like learning about the health and the wellness and everything else, I wouldn't be here like nearly 100 pounds right now. It's like, this is like, it's a huge freaking milestone and journey for my own wellness and stuff. So
Yeah, you look
doing
so
the,
good now.
thank you. So doing the documentary was healing me. Serving was healing me. Traveling and learning and everything else like that. All those things were like the things that was healing me, because we had lost so many people during those past few years. It's like I don't know how many of my friends I've already lost, and family that had already lost to something. They didn't even survive within the year of diagnosis, and we all lost family and friends, to cancer diagnoses. So I'm like just super thankful to be alive every single day, and just grateful.
As we all should be, right?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up your team here so we can see them one last time.
Oh, Nikisha, it looks like Nikisha dropped back in. So put her in as well too. Nikisha, who was in here earlier, she is also an herbalist. That's why I said we've got an herbalist in Africa, and we got an herbalist here in California. She lives here in Lake Elsinore. She's been maintaining our garden. This is why I've got like fresh green apples, that we use to juice, and everything else is like the teas. What kind of all kinds of vegetables that she's growing. And I was like, this is how we're gonna build up Adentia, because she lives right behind it. She says, I want to live on Adentia. I want to grow food. We're gonna make Ubuntu clothing. It's like we got so much plans. Say hi to Nikisha, everybody.
Hi. Hi, how are you? Do you want me to say
Anything
something?
you want to share? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Hi. Hold on. Put that on pause for mommy. Hi, my name is Nikesha Garrett. I am from Lake Elsinore, California, and I love to grow food. I love gardening. I love farming. It's definitely been a pleasure to work with Antoinette and Pato. I've been blessed, and just the opportunity for me to grow and continue to grow my food and make sure that we can heal from the inside out. That's really my goal. We can do a lot of things on the outside to heal ourselves, but if we're not taking care of that inside part, it definitely makes a difference. So with all the combination of everything, we can definitely get to that elevated state that we're all looking for. So I'm grateful to be on board. I'm grateful to be participating. And thank you for the opportunity. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
And the last thing I want to say is congratulations to Joné. We just came back from Hawaii a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah. Somewhere between Brazil and
in the middle of Brazil and Asia and England. We flew to Hawaii to officiate the wedding of Joné and Brian.
Yes.
And it was a beautiful occasion,
Mhm.
and you know,
They're
we're really
farmers
happy.
too.
Yeah, amazing farmers, amazing
Organic
farmers.
farmers. That's why we're like building our denture team is worldwide, but it's like what we're gonna do to show people how we can change the world, you know, through community and how we actually come together. It's really possible.
Yeah.
You know.
And I also want to say thank you to Eric Hines, who actually did a big portion of the Africa trip with me, filming and documenting everything when we went to screen in Africa. And it was Eric's first time in Africa, and he had a great time. Are you there, Eric?
Yes, I'm right here.
I can see him grinning ear to ear.
I just wanted to say thank you.
My pleasure, brother.
You want to just share 2 minutes, Eric, quickly, of
Yeah.
how you felt about the Africa trip?
Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a blessing beyond belief to be asked to go in the first place. And just being there, I was struck by how vibrant everybody is, how positive everyone is, and how they want to be part of your family. And so the spirit of Ubuntu was thriving there, you know, already. I felt that, and it just has to be embraced. But it was great to see Pato and organizing, coordinating all these things, and he worked tirelessly to make all these events happen, you know. And everyone was so thankful, and we didn't have any problems the whole trip. We were blessed with the presence of God, you know, on the whole trip. And yeah, I couldn't believe how friendly everybody was. That's what struck me the most. It's a lot different than what we see on TV here. You know, when you go, and I had the fortunate experience of going to 9 countries. And so that was inspiring and a revelation in itself. So it's an honor to be able to have gone with you, brother. And thank you so much for the experience. And I'm looking forward to helping you in any way you need in the future for this project and others.
You got it, man.
Helping us.
Big love.
Mm-hmm.
Big love.
And you see that, you guys, nobody got kidnapped, nobody ended up in the hospital. So it's like, you know, these Ubuntu tours that we're thinking about for the future. I've been telling people before, from Rwanda to Uganda, staying in Wakanda. You know, it's like that's going to be like an awesome adventure, you know, that we're going to be planning for next year. So that way we can visit the kids in Machiavelli. We can visit them in Grace Villa. That way we can stay in Wakanda. You know, it's so beautiful and it's so amazing. And it's not as crazy and dangerous or unsafe like people believe or think, you know, because if I can go out there, you know, at 80 pounds, and if Eric can go out there and he's never been to no African countries before and he don't know what the hell is going on, and he had a great time
as a white guy,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, you
into the ghetto,
right? Into the hood. You can go
and
anywhere.
They loved him, but Eric was lovely. Eric was nice to everybody, so they were nice to him.
That you know, but that's how Africans are. You know, it's like they're not gonna come and jank you or anything else like that. They're gonna treat you with the most utmost love and respect. You know, they just want you to feel at home.
Unless you just it seemed like they were really elevated in their personalities and everything. They had a lot of vibrancy, and when we were flying back, I was kind of sad, you know, that we had to leave, because it's beautiful in many ways, many ways.
And thank you, Eric. And for the people who have asked how they can help, you know, the next show that we do before the release, we'll go into details about that. But for now, if you go to the Spirit of Ubuntu or spiritofubuntu.us, there is a donate button, and you can see the list of organizations. You can you can go to the organizations individually and donate to them directly, or you can donate to us, and then we will seed that money to the organizations that we know that are in the most need right now. So, Scott, I'm passing it back to you and Antoinette.
So one more time, everybody, if you go to spiritofubuntu.us.
Someone has a question, though.
And twist around the little globe. And if people want to donate directly to you, where do we find that on this website?
You go to the empowerment.
Yeah.
page.
Yeah, there you go.
And the contact page. Go, yeah.
Okay.
These are the organizations.
Ah, right. Okay. And here, and then click donate. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really want to encourage people, and I'm gonna accept your cookies. Everybody, let's
Good. Our cookies are good.
good cookies.
Tasty. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna donate as soon as the show ends, and I'm gonna put this into the chat box for everybody. So let's support this amazing work that they're doing, and they
I
take
see
people.
Heidi's got her hand raised if she had a question.
Heidi, I'm gonna, if you want to unmute real quickly and ask your question.
We've got 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. First of all, I just love you guys. Thank you so much. I feel like love rays shooting from your eyes into my heart. So thank you. I am a professional dancer in Brooklyn, New York, and I have a business. Well, it's not a business, a community of Unite and Thrive, both here in New York, and we're also have a sister village that we're creating in Ghana with my husband there. And I was wondering, how could we get involved? And I also want to say that in the chat, there's someone asking about why don't we have an Ubuntu event in like a big football stadium in here in America to, change the vibe of, hitting each other and smacking each other and trying to destroy each other, to like lifting each other up as a ritual that needs to be, transformed. And it's the time to do it. In fact, I wrote my master's thesis on this like 25 years ago. So I think it's time. So I would also like to know if we can create events here like that together and how we would get involved.
So I put my email there. It's our email, ubuntunow1@gmail. So just send us a contact. And I raised my daughter in Brooklyn, 10 years in Brooklyn. So I've got a very, very, very special place in my heart for Brooklyn. And I'm definitely down for doing any type of Ubuntu events, whenever we can fit it into our schedule, or I can fit into my schedule or something, because I want to bring Ubuntu to the world. The movie, the documentary that was shot is by 2 professional filmmakers. But after that whole experience, I got bitten by the bug, after we won some awards. And I was like, I'm going to become a filmmaker myself. And after seeing that one documentary that took 11 years to shoot called Bobby Wine, and it was up for an Academy Award, I said, for the next 10 years, I'm going to be documenting the Ubuntu movement for the next 10 years. And those 2 videos that you saw, that's kind of like, it's our little makeshift, we're not professional filmmakers, but we shot that ourselves and we edited it ourselves, so I'm just going to document each year after year how we're growing this movement, to sit there and fill up the dots lighting up all over the globe, and to hear everybody's stories and everybody's projects, and seeing how we're like really bringing Ubuntu to change the world, because I already know this is happening, and it's going to happen with or without. It's going to happen. It's already in motion. Once people get the Ubuntu bug, you can't stop it.
Well, the videos you've made are incredible. They are really, it's just so beautiful because they're filled with heart, but they also look very professional. It's good editing. It's good B-roll. There's a question from Ayada asking, she says there's an image going around showing the continent of Africa as much larger than it is normally shown on maps. Do you know if there's any truth about that?
Yes, I saw that too, and I'm totally not surprised and everything. It's like from colonization, they've been really trying to sit there and act like the continent is not as big as it is, and a lot of different things. So we're uncovering a lot of truth, and you're going to start hearing a lot more things about it, coming out of Africa. And I would just sit there and just like, all eyes on Africa. Everybody pay attention to what's happening, because it's going to become one of the biggest super economic powers. There's a big Pan-African movement going on. There's a lot of things happening with BRICS. It's like, let's pay attention to what's happening. Don't sit there and just pay attention to what you just see on the news that's kind of distracting us to this and that. What's happening is what we're making happening, each individual person and every person out there in society. Don't pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to what you're doing and what you can actually do. That's how you make the world happen. That's how you change the world.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you for just being we love you so much. And it's always such a honor to have you on our Awakening World show. And we look forward to tracking, learning how we can all go see Ubuntu, whether it's going to be in the theater or how you arrange for it to stream. Keep those prayers coming in, everybody, and please donate. Please donate to them. And I'm going to bring up all of your friends one more time, including Kristen Hoffman, who's still with us, even though it's almost midnight where she is on the East Coast. So thank you, dear.
It's such an honor. I think it would be fun if there was a movement to create watch parties. So everyone invites their neighbors, everyone gets their friends together for that release day to hold a watch party.
That is a great idea.
Let's do that. Yeah, Samira from the URI had suggested that, because she wanted to do like a big global one, and the URI is a big organization, with 1 million members worldwide or something. So we just got to figure out if we want to do several, one big one, or something like that. But that's a great idea.
Like everybody, I could host an Ubuntu party, like share Ubuntu with your neighbors, have a potluck Ubuntu together and talk about,
Yes. That the woman that you saw, the black woman that you saw where I just showed her face at the end of the video, the Divine Mother's Love video, I call her the Zulu Queen because when I was in South Africa and I spent time with her, when she saw the documentary, she goes, something? I wasn't going to do an Ubuntu, I wasn't going to do a birthday party. And she said, after watching the documentary, she says, I feel I need to do this as my birthday party. And so we just had a little small screening at a yoga studio. We had a little mini altar and people just came, and enjoyed themselves in this yoga studio with some food and some drinks and just a community coming together. And that watch party there in her home became her birthday party. And that inspired everybody else to go and be like, all right, let's go and do something for our Go-Go's. Let's go and do something for our community. And let's go and do something here. So I thought that was kind of inspirational. Just like how people do like, oh, for my birthday on Facebook, it's like, I want to raise $200. It's like, well, do an Ubuntu party. Do an Ubuntu day or something for your birthday or for an event or something. I think it's catchy, to inspire somebody else.
Love it.
All right. Well, what a beautiful, beautiful evening. And I always like to let people know what's coming up next. And on Saturday night, Pato, Antoinette, Christian, you're going to recognize a lot of these friends of yours. It's an evening dedicated to leading the evolution. Reverend Deb Moldau is my co-host, and we're going to be meeting the newest members of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, including some of our Global Peace Tribe favorites, Tatiana Speed, Omashar, and Dr. Marty, and Piper Dellums are all now members of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle. They're all going to be with us. And then two new friends, Alexander Laszlo, and then Patron Antoinette, do you know Rutendo?
Yes, we met her. We met her when we was in South Africa. And you know how we met her? We met her through Mendahi Batasta. It was that time when they were doing the event in Palenque at the same time, and I was like, all right, as we're doing the prophecy, the eagle, the hummingbird, and the quasitelle, he was in South Africa the same time we were, while they were in Palenque, and then so we went to go and visit him, and that's when we met Rotundo. So I'm hoping to link up with her again because there's a lot that she can tell you that's going on in them stone circles, the Mother Spirit, Credo Mutua, the whole Ubuntu. That's exciting that she's going to become a member of this.
Yeah, she's amazing. She was in Mexico last January as well, weaving with us and facilitating during the Evolutionary Leaders retreat there. And she's just an incredible being. So. Beautiful.
I switched my background because I use this background all the time. This, of course, is the photograph taken in Palenque of the lighting of the eighth fire. And I love that photo because nobody knew when they snapped it, but I see a phoenix rising from the flames. It was a profound gathering of people. I know that Pato and Antoinette have a special connection to our beloved brother, Chief Phil Lane, and to put this together. And I just love that. I love that image. So I have it as my backdrop.
We've been invited back to Mexico for the same organization, I can't even pronounce it. But but anyway, from the same people, you know, from the
Indigenous
fire,
tribes.
from the indigenous tribes, the National Organization for the Indigenous Tribes wants us to bring Ubuntu to Puebla, Mexico at the end of this month. So we'll be going out there presenting Ubuntu, you know, as they're creating this pipeline and creating this global movement and everything. So I'm glad to see my sisters again, Adriana and Carmen. You know, it's like meeting Carmen that night. It was like they lifted her up. They're like, the guy said, she is now in charge. We're gonna put down our you know, put down our authority, and we're putting her in charge and raising the vibration up. And I was like, wow, what I witnessed in that TP was freaking amazing. The world needs to see this, I'm telling you.
All right. Thank you. God bless you both so much. I'm going to go to gallery view one last time, everybody, and maximum grace for all of us, maximum grace for Pato and Antoinette and the Spirit of Ubuntu. And I know what we're all going to be having in our heads, that song all night long. We're going to have Spirit of Ubuntu rolling through our brains. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you all in